If you can taste the difference between a mac rib sandwich and real barbecue, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear to objectively and subjectively evaluate each barbecue meat that is presented to my eyes and my palate, so that truth, justice, excellence in barbecue, and the American way of life may be strengthened and preserved forever. You're on your oath, do a great job. Thank you.
We're at the American Royal World Series of Barbecue, the world's largest barbecue contest, with 505 teams here this year. I like to say we're the NFL of competition barbecue. So the Kansas City Barbecue Society is a nonprofit organization with over 16,000 members. Our certified barbecue judges are volunteers, but they're also very passionate about barbecue.
My name is Murilo Winter. I am a J-Cup Master Certified Barbecue Judge. I've been judging since 2017.
So I'm a Master Certified Barbecue Judge. That means you've judged 30 contests, volunteered at least one, and you've also cooked with a team, so you can experience that. And then you take a test and you're now a Master Barbecue Judge.
So it's 9 a.m. The first thing we do when we get here from the parking lot is go in and check in with the American Royal representatives and tell them that we're here and ready to judge. And then we get in line to get into the tent at 10 o'clock. And then once we get into the tent at 10 o'clock, they're going to give us our assignments, whether or not we're eating food or whether or not we're being a table captain. We're just getting people settled in at the table right now. Judge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
When KCBS trains judges, we give them some framework on how to judge. We judge on appearance, taste, and tenderness. The way the judges score barbecue is from 9 to 5, and then there's a 2 if it's inedible, and then there's 1 as a disqualification.
They're gonna have 4 meat categories, and it's pork ribs, pork shoulders, beef brisket, and chicken. This weekend, I'm shooting for all 9s. It's all about perfection.
You're trying to get as much flavor in one bite. You don't want to be too sweet. You don't want to be too spicy. That middle ground seems where that's the money spot.
So we seat 6 judges at a table. In addition to the 6 judges, we have a person called a table captain, whose responsibilities are to go out and get in line, bring back those 6 samples, make sure all the judges get their numbers written on their cards and their plates correctly, and then the table captain shows them all the entries they judge for appearance. Once we're done judging for appearance, then he starts to pass these boxes, and judges remove a sample and put on their judging plate until all 6 are on there. And once that's done, they go to work judging for taste and tenderness.
I don't think there's more teams competing in a world championship than there will be this Saturday and Sunday. It is not for the faint of heart.
It's what everybody wants to do. Pretty special inviting this many teams to one area, getting it judged.
This is where I come and show what I'm really worth in the barbecue industry.
There are barbecue gods that are here. It's massive.
Beautiful, thank you.
So you can cook your best food, but you need to hit those right tables of judges that just, really enjoy eating your food and score you for it.
When cooks arrive on site, the rule of thumb is before you get to an event, you can take anything away from the meat, you just can't add anything back. So we have inspectors go around, and that's what they do. They check the 4 categories or the 5 categories or however many there are that day. And as soon as meat's inspected, then the cooks can go to town doing whatever they need to do to prep their meat.
First hand in is chicken at 12. So I'm gonna brine my chicken, then I'm gonna inject it, then season it and get it ready for the grill. The biggest thing with chicken is getting that bite through skin.
But the key to cooking great chicken thighs is the ability to make the skin bite through. Not about crispy skin, but about skin that when you take that first bite of that piece of chicken, your teeth bite through the skin, and it's harder than it sounds. So when you start out in competition barbecue, you're gonna convince the judges that you cook great food, and usually you fail at it. If you start to realize that you're no longer cooking for what you like, you're cooking for what they like in the judging tent, or you've got to come around to the thinking that you're trying to please the judges, not yourself.
We met some judges yesterday.
Yeah, they're really
like
hardcore.
they're taking it hardcore and they were taking it really seriously and they were really invested and they really were honored to be the judging. And so to be able to be judged by these judges that are honestly elite and see where you sit in their eyes.
That's exciting.
That's so exciting.
So with appearance, you want every piece to kind of look the same, especially with chicken. You can break down chickens into 5 ounces. 1, they cook well. equally, and 2, it just looks really good in a box.
In terms of judging a chicken thigh, there's only a couple of things. One, it's got to taste amazing. You want the meat to still have some moisture to it, but it's got to be tender. The judges are instructed to sample the meat exactly how it was presented to them. If it's presented with skin on, they have to sample it with skin on. If a judge takes a bite of chicken and the whole skin slides off and slaps them on the chin, not a desirable outcome. And so the cooks will be scored down for that.
I coined this phrase years and years ago, this idea about one bite food. Well, what is one bite food? One bite food is, if they gotta go back for a second bite to make up their mind, you probably didn't do it. If they go back for a second bite because it is so good they gotta have another, that's another story.
If you eat everything put in front of you while you're judging that day, you'll eat over 2 pounds of meat, which they'll leave miserable. They might be happy for a while, but I think they'll ultimately be miserable. So they do know to pace themselves.
And so we gotta nail taste. Taste is gonna be the highest way to score. We have gotta nail doneness, tenderness. We've got to do a beautiful presentation, and we work so hard to make that perfect entry and get it to the judges. The best foods in the world, I don't care if it's ice cream, Caesar salad, or barbecue, the best foods in the world are going to have the best mouthfeel, the best texture. We want this chew to be perfect.
I'm going to just start garnishing our box, and we want to make it nice and pretty. So we really want to shoot for a 9, right? That's the highest score that you can get. And part of appearance is your garnish. So basically what we want to be doing is making a very flat surface to put our food on top so it looks pretty.
You can garnish with parsley, you can garnish with kale, you can garnish with cilantro. You don't have to put garnish in the box.
We instruct the judges not to judge based on the garnish in the box.
Okay, everybody ready? Yep. So here's what a box looks like when we get it, the styrofoam box. And the box number will be on it, usually in the center. I write my table number in one corner and the entry number in the other corner. So this will be entry number 2 and it would be table 4, which just happens to be our table number today. We are table 4, 143, 143. And box number 5 is 121, 121, 121. So first box for appearance.
When we present a box of barbecue to a judge and they look into that box and it makes them excited to want to grab a piece of barbecue out of that box, that's a 9. That's kind of a basis for how they judge appearance of barbecue. We also instruct them, if by chance there's sauce on the lid from closing it, not to judge the box itself. They're just there to judge the meat. They're instructed not to talk while they're judging, but they're encouraged to talk after the cards are all picked up, so they can talk amongst themselves about what they liked and didn't like between categories.
What'd you guys think? Good? All right. I'm in line to get our next entry, which happens to be pork. The entries are being submitted right now by the contestants. I'll renumber the box. This was box number 5 for me, and then we have to write our table number on it too, so they know what table judged it. And then what I do, the triple check, is to write down on here the numbers of each one of the boxes in order so that I don't get a duplicate box later on. Okay, now we're gonna go back to the table.
So, you know, in pork, I am going to do a lot more money muscle. The money muscle is actually one of the tubes, and it's really tender, and it's the filet mignon of the pork, if you want to say.
So right here is that money muscle. We trim that thing out, and that's where we get our slices with. It's delicious, it's cooked perfectly. Everybody's doing money muscle. Judges, I'm sure they look forward to eating a money muscle.
So what we'll do is we'll be cooking one whole shoulder to take our pulled pork from. The reason that we like to put a couple of different cuts in the box is that it just shows that we've got versatility, that we're not just doing one thing really well. You know, when you put a plate together, you want a couple of different textures on there. It's more visually appealing to have a few different elements in a box where people open it up and they're like, oh, look at that, I've got options.
Kiss it. Kiss it. Thank you, Graham.
Last one for the day-olds. We're done for today.
Done, baby.
In pork, I think one of the ideas is if you can smash that pork to the roof of your mouth, it's probably overdone if it's mushy, for example. So you still want it to have some body, some integrity.
These two, just loved them. Perfect balance of pork flavor, smoke, the savory, the sweet. They were both outstanding. Rest of them, yeah, you know, marginal. How many rolls have I done? Oh, 12. It's just kind of a family of judges and competitors, and it's just a very cool experience from that standpoint.
I'm collecting the judges' slips. and I'm perusing them to make sure that all the categories are filled out, that we circled pork, that we have the table number, the seat number, their judge's number, that they have filled out all the blanks and they have signed the bottom of it. Once that's done, then I'll turn them into a contest rep. They'll double check it to make sure that everything's right.
Today I am keying scores. So we have 10 different people that will all be keying scores. When you have over 500 teams, there's a lot of scores to key. So we need quite a few of us. The way when we key scores, we'll key the scores in off the card and we do a self-audit. So we'll key going across, but then we'll check the cards back. So we make sure that we keyed right. Beyond that, we will do a separate audit. So somebody else will be looking at our ticket. We'll do that for about 20-25% of the teams today. With this many teams, we would never have awards if we had to audit everything that was keyed. We'll verify with somebody else and get a consensus on that. We don't have time to run back to get a score from every judge today.
There are awards in each of the individual categories, so you can place in chicken, ribs, pork, and brisket, and then you take your combined scores of those 4 categories, and then they award the overall, and that's how we find our grand champion.
But now it's time for the winner. Can I get a drum roll, please? With a perfect 180, we have Maddie Max!
Everybody's so passionate about barbecue. I've never met anybody who couldn't find something that they loved about barbecue, and we all just come together as a group and have a great time and award somebody a bunch of money and a big trophy.
I got started in it because of my daughter. We volunteered and did it for a couple of years, and then I decided we would take the real certification course with KCBS, and I got hooked. I mean, once you take the certification course, you then have access to their website, which has a list of all the competitions nationwide.
And the money's great. In fact, if you're a full-time competitor like I was, you need the money to put fuel in the tank, to buy the meat, to pay the entry fees and all those things. And if you're a full-time competitor, you probably have some sponsors.
You meet the most wonderful people. They are from all kinds of backgrounds, and we all have the common taste of enjoying barbecue. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here.
Those are some good ribs.